I want to show you some of the footage that's just come out, that was just released by the Resistance, and there are a couple of clips here. And again, this is really it's combat journalism of the I mean, not just the most relevant and prominent kind, but quality-wise, it's quite astounding, because rarely throughout history have we ever been offered such a unfiltered, objective, clear-cut view of simple combat, of what is happening on the field. Now, the Israelis release clips, and I'll show you one in a moment, that are just, it's like a bunch of people in a shooting range that are just firing into thin air. There's nothing there. But this, what the Qassam brigades are releasing, is of a different caliber. It's of a different kind. It's really in a league of its own. Take a look.
سيتم الآن دك حشودات العدو المتحشدة حول مستشفى الشفاء. So these are mortars being fired, and ironically, the Israelis have or the Americans rather, who are supplying the Israelis, have run out of mortars. They ran out of shells to supply Ukraine, and that's why Russia defeated Ukraine. And of course, I did lots of videos about this, but just so you understand how crucial these things are. This is another piece of footage. You can see here, this is a clash with a bulldozer. Listen, look at this. Yeah, that's a D9 bulldozer. The Israelis use this all the time to bulldoze, demolish people's homes, destroy public infrastructure like roads, and of course tow back their damaged or destroyed tanks in Gaza. So you might find it sometimes a bit exaggerated with the effects, but absolutely not. I much rather prefer this to what the Israelis put out, where you literally cannot see a thing being hit. It's just, I mean, it's something someone could have filmed, I don't know, in Arizona on their property with a few friends, and you could not, you know, tell the difference. I'll show you one in a second. They've released another garbage. Every single one, you can't see a thing. Look at this, for example. This is near Al Shifa Hospital. This was with an improvised explosive device, IED. Notice also how these are military targets, and that's crazy that they hit it with two, actually, right? So might have taken out the tracks. Then you've got the driver has smoke and shit and dust in his eyes. I mean, it's you know, this is guerrilla warfare. It's not terrorism. It's guerrilla warfare. It's an excellent example, a textbook academic example of what a guerrilla army is, how it operates,
And it's got nothing to do with being urban. I mean, the Vietnamese also had guerrilla warfare against the Americans in the jungle. So, I mean, it's nothing to do with whether it's urban or not. It's just that it's a bunch of people that have put together from just as a group, as a nation. In this case, they're trapped inside Gaza, who have put together a bunch of soldiers, and they're fighting a foreign occupation, an illegal army that is morally illegal, reprehensible, legally under international law, null and void. So, you know, even with or without the legality and moral stance in their favor, just from a military point of view and an academic point of view, this is a guerrilla warfare outfit. What Hamas, what Qassam brigades are doing is going to be studied by military colleges for decades to come, without a shadow of a doubt. I promise you this. Here's another example.
Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, that guy, you know, I swear to God, the journalists in Gaza, the ones that are running around with the Hamas outfit, have got balls of steel. I mean, these guys, remember, this footage is not being filmed by someone who is a fighter themselves or has something to defend themselves with. They're literally running around in sneakers filming this stuff. I mean, you have to just appreciate the integrity and resilience that it takes to do that. This is really something else. No armor, no protective gear, doesn't even have a press vest. He's literally running around just filming it. And now the Israelis will say, oh, well, it's propaganda. Yeah, sure, but it's also combat journalism, because I can see what's going on. It's not edited. Well, I mean, there are special effects, but it's not edited in a dishonest way. On the contrary, it's edited to point out details that some viewers may or may not see, right? To make something obviously and unequivocally clear that this is an Israeli tank. Let's zoom in. Here's the Israeli tank. Zoom out. Let the footage continue. Look at it being hit. Zoom in. Look at it being hit. I mean, you couldn't ask for more clear combat journalism. This is how it should be done. There's no narration. There's no tricks in the video, and there's no time wasting either. It's straight to the point.
الله مسؤول وبك نجول وبك نقاتل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا إله إلا الله.
طلع طيارة.
So that what they're using is another piece of Palestinian innovation. It's the Roul sniper. It's a 50 caliber sniper. That thing will, take your arm off without even touching you if it passes, close enough. And the military and technical innovation of the Palestinians to be able to conceive of and construct such a weapon under siege is remarkable. It is remarkable. Once again, from an academic, from a military, and an economic point of view, even, right? So that is something very, very important. Another thing I'm reminded of is when the Israelis were caught, because remember, they were occupying Gaza till 2005, and then they occupied it the next year with a siege that's lasted to this day. And the Palestinians discovered that the Israelis were stealing water from Gaza with these pipes underground. And you know what they did? They just dismantled the pipes. They refashioned them, or rather just fashioned them into missiles, and then fired them back at the Israelis.
which is another Palestinian innovation that no one else could have possibly thought to compare to. And it's funny because you see some people say, "Oh, look at the Palestinians," as if like it's some video showing some bad thing. No, the Palestinians filmed this themselves with a weapon the Israelis were using, which is theft of resources. Pipes stealing resources from Palestinians. But anyway, it's nothing new. Here's some more footage. This is what the Israelis. So it's very underwhelming now. Look at what the Israelis published.
زيرو تكبير للسمول تكبير للسمول بقى انا بدل درجين يمين يمين كويس
What is that? I see something sticking out. What could be a rifle. It could also be one of his friends or on the other side. I mean, what? That's not a person. I don't know what that is. This doesn't prove anything. The Israelis could have easily, cooked this up. And once again, it doesn't even show anything. Look at the difference where here you can literally see on the rooftop both of the Israelis. There's one. Okay, you can literally see them, and there's the other one. You can see the plume from the smoke. So there's a big difference. Number one, in just how they show the intended or allegedly intended targets, I should say, in the case of the Israelis. Let's continue, okay? Once again, I see someone, or actually not someone, this is the first time we've seen someone in this clip. I see a gun being stuck out and then going back in, and his friend is firing to the side. The plumes of smoke look really weird also, because I don't see any actual damage to the wall. They could easily be blanks that the Israelis are firing so they don't injure each other. And then the smoke, is added later over there to make it look like it impacted. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the Israeli drone video from the other day where they released this to show that there was no flower massacre. And then, someone zoomed in someone who's familiar with drone footage zoomed in and basically, posted the footage. And I showed you how the bullet casings were shown from a drone. You can't see bullet casings flying out of a weapon from that high up. And the bullet casings look bigger than the guy's head. I mean, this is ridiculous. So we know the Israelis, we know that they doctor and they fake footage. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do this here as well. Okay, so just people shooting, that's all we hear. Okay, now that impact looks real. It does look like they're actually firing here, but again, it doesn't show anyone. So that's the video. That's it. So you see the difference. And to me, why am I telling you this? It's because this indicates that the Israelis have nothing to show for their efforts on the battlefield, and they're losing, and they need to put out some propaganda from time to time, but they don't actually have anything of value to actually display. And these are the desperate attempts of a failing army. Because keep in mind, there are two wars. I mean, you got a war against civilians, which they are succeeding in. And there's also a real war on the battlefield with Hamas and with the Qassam fighters. And that they are absolutely, without question, losing. You can't even name one objective that they have achieved. Release the hostages hasn't worked. Defeat Hamas hasn't worked. You haven't even come close. I mean, it's so pathetic. And the Israelis they've lost more soldiers now than in any event or war or skirmish since 1973. So it's really a pathetic, poor performance. I'm so poor. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this segment. I just wanted to quickly show you some of the things put out by the resistance and the Israelis.